Pokémon is one of the biggest video game series ever made. For almost 30 years, kids and adults around the world have been catching, training, and battling Pokémon. But how did it all start? And how did we go from simple Game Boy games to huge open-world adventures? Today, we're going through the complete history of Pokémon games from 1996 to now. It all started in Japan in 1996 with Pokémon Red and Green. A man named Satoshi Tajiri created Pokémon because he loved collecting bugs as a kid. He wanted other kids to feel that same excitement of catching and collecting creatures. The first games were simple. You played as a kid trying to catch all 151 Pokémon and become the champion. You could trade Pokémon with friends using a special cable that connected two Game Boys together. This was huge. No game had really done this before. In 1998, Pokémon Red and Blue came to America, and the whole world went crazy for Pokémon. Then, in 1999, Pokémon Yellow came out, which was based on the TV show. You got Pikachu as your starter, and it followed you around. So cool! 3 years later, we got Generation 2. Pokémon Gold and Silver added 100 new Pokémon, bringing the total to 251. But they didn't just add new Pokémon, they added new features too. Now Pokémon could hold items. There was a day and night system, so different Pokémon appeared at different times. You could even battle and trade using your phone. Well, not a real phone, an in-game Pokégear device. The coolest part? After beating the game, you could go back to the Kanto region from the first games. It was like getting two games in one. Pokémon Crystal came out in 2000 and let you play as a girl for the first time ever. Generation 3 came out on the Game Boy Advance, which had way better graphics and colors. Ruby and Sapphire added 135 new Pokémon and introduced some huge changes. Now Pokémon could have different abilities that helped them in battle. There were double battles, where you used two Pokémon at once. The games also added contests, where your Pokémon could perform and show off, not just fight. One problem though, you couldn't transfer your old Pokémon from Gold and Silver. The new technology didn't work with the old games. Fans were really upset about this. In 2004, Nintendo made remakes of the original Red and Blue called Fire Red and Leaf Green. These let new players experience the first games with better graphics. The Nintendo DS came out and Pokémon got even better. Diamond and Pearl added 107 new Pokémon and brought online play for the first time. Now you could battle and trade with people all over the world using Wi-Fi. The games also split attacks into physical and special moves, making battles more strategic. Pokémon Platinum improved Diamond and Pearl with a better story and more content. Then, in 2009, we got Heart Gold and Soul Silver, remakes of Gold and Silver. These games let your Pokémon follow you around outside their Pokéball, which fans absolutely loved. Many people think these are the best Pokémon games ever made. Generation 5 tried something different. Black and White only had new Pokémon until you beat the game. All 156 Pokémon were brand new. Game Freak wanted players to feel like they did back in Generation 1, discovering everything for the first time. The story was more serious and grown up. The villain team actually made you think about whether catching Pokémon was right or wrong. The graphics got a huge upgrade with 3D buildings and animated Pokémon sprites. Seasons changed throughout the year, so the game world looked different in spring, summer, fall, and winter. Black 2 and White 2 were the first direct sequels in Pokémon history. Continuing the story 2 years later, Pokémon jumped to the Nintendo 3DS, and everything was in 3D now. No more 2D sprites. Pokémon were fully 3D models that moved and looked amazing. X and Y introduced Mega Evolution, where certain Pokémon could transform mid-battle into superpowered forms. Charizard got 2 Mega Evolutions. A new type called Fairy was added to balance the game. You could customize your character's clothes and hairstyle for the first time. There was even a feature called Pokémon Ami, where you could pet and play with your Pokémon using the touchscreen. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, with all these new features added in. Generation 7 changed a lot of traditions. Instead of gym battles, you went on island trials with different challenges. Instead of getting an HM slave Pokémon, you could ride on different Pokémon to get around. The big new feature was regional forms. Old Pokémon like Vulpix and Executor had completely different types and looks in the Alola region. This was super creative. Z moves let any Pokémon use a super powerful attack once per battle. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were enhanced versions with more story and content. Then, in 2018, Pokémon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out. These were simpler games designed to connect with Pokémon Go on phones. You could see Pokémon in the overworld and catch them without random battles. Pokémon finally came to the Nintendo Switch. Sword and Shield were the first main games on a home console. The Wild area was a huge open zone where you could freely explore and find different Pokémon. Dynamax let your Pokémon grow giant for 3 turns. Max Raid battles let you team up with friends to catch powerful Pokémon. But there was controversy. Not all Pokémon were in the game. This made some fans really angry. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were remakes of Diamond and Pearl, but many fans thought they were too similar to the originals. Pokémon Legends Arceus in 2022 completely changed the formula. It was an action RPG set in ancient times. You could catch Pokémon by sneaking up on them and throwing balls in real time. No random battles. Fans loved this fresh take. The newest games are Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. These are the first fully open-world Pokémon games. You can go anywhere from the start. No barriers. You can tackle gyms in any order you want. There are 3 different story paths you can complete in any order: the Gym Challenge, stopping Team Star, and finding rare Titan Pokémon. Terastallization is the new gimmick, where Pokémon can change their type temporarily and get a power boost. You can explore with friends in co-op multiplayer. The games had technical problems at launch with lag and glitches, but the freedom and fun made them super popular anyway. From 151 Pokémon on a tiny Game Boy screen to over 1,000 Pokémon in massive open worlds, Pokémon games have come so far. What's your favourite Pokémon generation? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.